What's going on, YouTubes? Time for a recap. So we start off over in the X right here. Big shout out to another top one set of payouts here. Always supporting their members. So another 10 coming from them. Awesome people over there. Top one. You're supposed to be working on my code. Hit me back. You're supposed to be working after the support. Into the trades here. I wanted Qs long over yesterday's lows for the GP, at least to the 1618. We got it on the SPY, but we didn't get it on the Qs. But that's okay. That's only a free explain. Let's talk about what really happened. So into the Discord we go as we are preparing for the day, and I'm spamming my poor chat with nonsense nonstop and the trade calls. Well, we came down to the deciding factor here that this morning with the super large momentum under yesterday's highs close, that if it held that 100, we were going to roll back up. And then I only wanted just a little bit higher, right? Just over the 1618, just watch for it. I don't care. I'm only watching for the short later on, which we swap bias to, right? So we did a bunch of TA. We did a little bit of explanations here. And then we came to, well, if it's over yesterday's lows, roll on, right? No big deal. As we're always making adjustments, always throwing the P&L out there. We did get stopped out on this one, only made 1,050 on that guy on our new funded. And then here is the trade plan for the Qs as well. So if we do go under yesterday's lows close, and then of course staying under that 2618, we were going to head down to the 1618. That was also a trade plan. So we're putting out these levels, we're talking about our levels, and we need to correspond. Finally, we came up with the obvious PPI, high-low data, anything under the GP, target 1 short, 1618, target 2 short, must be under yesterday's lows, which is down here by 621. And then we gave the big extension candles. I think I just drew them on the screen, yeah. Let's get into the Discord. So we had a couple different instances, okay? So the green fibs here, these are the ones that we predicted the CPI failure with, okay? So if you watched our last video, it's a little bit longer. We talked about the fail from 559, 50, and down, right? Now, it did reject from the 3618 on the SPY perfectly, and the Qs did a little rotation down, and we ended up retracing back to some very nice candles. Why was that? Well, in the video, I'm not going to get into it here, but we explain why this candle is so important. Go check it out, and why it was going to reject right here for CPI and come all the way back down to, oh, you guessed it, the no tag GP, right? So we did finally get that short. Here's that bar right here that I put on for the last little bit of the day, and I said anything under the pre-market open, under yesterday's closed lows, we're going to get some momentum. It needs short Momo under, right? And that was what we're talking about. Now, I didn't mind if you guys went long if it would have got over yesterday's close and lows, and then specifically on the SPY, which we'll cover in a minute here. But we got to talk about these easy shies first before we get to the SPY. So we opened up, and because now the green, remember, this is that interesting 15 we predicted the CPI with. Now, if we were to stay under that 2618, notice when we go back to yesterday's trade day, right, with that green, the 2618 was tagged right here, live trading. After hours, it was tagged on the 1618, and then the 100 pre-market. Those don't matter. We need live tags, right? So that was another big reason we were looking back up and up. I didn't expect it to go this high for the PPI. I really wanted to say under yesterday's close lows very lowly and then come down. But she came back up for another 2618 tag, right? And then as we talk about fibs recycling, if we back up here a little bit, and here is the starting fib, 1618, 2618, 3618. We have a cap at 423, which we don't use that much, but under the 3618, 2618, 1618, 100 GP. So it'll cycle up to all of its first tags, then cycle back down if it's a good fib. If you know how to draw them, pay attention. We teach this every day. So we come into this beautiful green fib. The 1618 needs the first or the live tag, right? 2618 is the resistance point. Well, there's your resistance point. There's your live 1618. Okay, well, that's when it gets boring. We specifically said in my chat, please be aware today that the Powell comments about being fired in Trump could come up, and we could get some stir, right? That did happen. We did get some adjustments in the market, getting that volatility, so on and so forth, but we still had our fibs, so it didn't matter. I was yelling at my chat nonstop. I said, I don't like the long. I hate the longs. Don't go longs. If you got to go long, it's got to go over this level. We'll go over that on SPY in a minute, but I don't like these shies to the downside, and it has to go back down. We're going to get a big panic move down because these green Fibonacci's has a giant no tag golden pocket right here, which we needed to come down to, and I was very adamant on this sucker getting hit. And, well, we finally got it right after I left, of course, because we're watching this crazy slow hour plus of nonsense. So So that was it. So we're going to get into the shy. What is a shy? Well, we have the fibs and the gold here from yesterday's highs to yesterday's lows. We point them to the downside. That's the 1618 extension. We always play outside of yesterday's lows. So if the price action is outside of the body, right, under yesterday's lows, well, that's the wick, but you know what I mean, outside yesterday's action rather, it generally goes to the 1618, as we had a T1 short for the 1618 and a T2 short for the 1618 from the daily and that 100 that we were talking about, right? A little bit of a zone there. And as you see, we shied it. Shies like to return in algorithm trading. You guys got to pay attention to this. As it rejected the 2618, hit our first tag 1618, came down and did not hit our golden 1618. And I mentioned this on stream a bunch. I said it shied that 1618. I don't like this, man. I do not like this long. And it comes up, up, up. Slammo, algo trade, slammo back up. See ya. Okay, well, I'm used to that. Market loves the scam, right? So we did hit our targets. Go over to SPY real quick. Big old messy, nasty SPY, because we got a bunch of different thought processes here too. And again, this is where we're at. Now, we had a very big algo level. Again, we had T1 out of the gate, okay? That was this general area. We did pop into that target one on the ES because we were telling everybody to play the ES out of the gate long, not the Qs. I was on the Q side and just got stopped out at 1,000 green. So we're going to delete these real quick, change this up. Well, not change, just clean. It's up, and I'll show you the one long and then the short that we had called, okay? So we have the PPI data right here. 5-minute high-low, okay? That's where the green Fibonacci is pointed to the downside. We have a huge 1618 level right here, which is extremely important. We get that from this triple GP daily. Here we talk about these a lot. Golden pocket, no tag 1, 2, and 3. What did I do? I took the high and the low of these 3 candles with no golden pocket tags. I pointed to the upside. And I said, team, if we get cooking under the 1618, poof, she's coming down. What was the target? I put it right here at 620.83. Why did I pick that target for the day? Because this candle right here, 7-8, had a little 50 tag. That's why this price level is directly through the center of the candle, which means if you take a Fibonacci from the high low of this candle, it gives you a 50% retracement dead center of the candle, which was not tagged. That means 7-9 did not come down. 7-10 did not come down. 7-11 did not come down. You get the point. It was wide open. So if we were to fail the 1618, we would snap down to the 620.83. Now we got the Trump tweet move, right? And it went past that, but we were still right about the short. And I yelled at everybody, listen, unless you're trending above this 1618, unless you're trending above 623, then you can target those longs. And I was yelling and screaming and doing all my fun things that I always do. And I'm like, don't long this fucking thing. I'm just not about it. So you see the perfectly timed tweets and news come in right at our 1618, kicks it down to our 620.83 finally, and then hits our short targets plus some. Okay. Now look at the golden fib again here, right? I always fib out high low of yesterday. Here's high. Here's low. I pointed to the downside because I expected weakness as we fully develop the trade plan coming into open, not way back here when I was looking for the Qs longs, but we always make adjustments. We're day traders. We always got to be fluid. So as we come up to that yesterday's lows, it snaps down, and where's the bounce? You guessed it. The high, low Fibonacci extension 1618 to the T. Good news, right? What's next? Well, I'll show you the one bounce play I played because I love Fibonacci extensions on the 3618. What do we have here? Ooh, I didn't see that. We're going to come back to that. So I'm going to show you this long trade that I took, 3618 to 2618, best Fibonacci extension in the world. We have the opening candle range. We have this little dude, 8:40 a.m. Central. Bam, bam. And this guy is a no-tag GP, which means if you draw a Fibonacci high-low on this bad boy, that golden pocket has no love at all. So all of this candle creation after the candle that we just fibbed out has nothing to do with the center right there, the golden pocket, right? So it starts pushing down. We go to the 1618 and ding, ding, both. Okay, 2618. Okay, and I'm like, yeah, this sucker's weak. We're going to wait for the 3618. So I said, long at the 3618, back up. Boom, 3618. We caught about 6.5 points, 5.5, 6.5 points. It's about $700 right here off the scalp. So 3618 back to the 2618, get out early a little bit right here, pushes up a little bit more to that 1618, and then gets lazy again. Okay, so that was the one trade we took. That's exactly why we took it. Now, T1 short, let's get out of that. T2 short we talked about. And then last but not least, we're going to go into 2 scenarios for what's going on. Prediction time. You guys missed these, right? QQQ. Left a 1-minute gap open way up here if you didn't notice, 559.50, which means at the dump day when we predicted CPI falling apart, it left a 1-minute gap-a-roo 559.50. Okay. If we keep the cycle back up, right? The cycle of that 15, the old fib, because they do tend to work. We're going to head up. Why else are we going to head up? Well, we had a knee-jerk reaction, the sweep, the trap, the dun-da-da with the trump, right? And what did that do? Well, we closed over yesterday's lows. What's the most prominent move once we're back inside of a candle that doesn't have a GP tag, right? So if I took today's action, right? That is not how you draw a price level. And we get this high-low. Remember, this is today. Back up here a little bit. Oh, the frick, this mouse. Get used to a new mouse. This golden pocket from high-low of today is not tagged, okay? So, best case scenario, we'll give you the predictions here. Best cases is what you're going to look for. Delete all this nonsense. I think I duplicated it even. Look how good I am at this. We're going to move to the right. Bam. And we're going to note, why didn't you just do that in the first place, Brandon? You have to draw the line. You can just move it over. Yeah, I know. I'm retarded. Leave me alone. So as we come over to the golden fib, I'm going to look for this golden pocket to attack the 1 minute gap only if is it above the close and lows of the prior day. So we got to get over 556 and stay over 55666, okay? Then we're going to move up to the golden pocket, potentially the gap. What's going to get us there? Inversely, we have another SPY gap. We're going to fib out today's high-low. We're going to move to the right. We have a GP tag on this one, okay? SPY is the real market, Qs is not. Pay attention to this. We already have a golden pocket tag. This was the high-low, right? It's already there. But, and man, do we have some interesting 5-minute GPs right here at the 1618. We just found a couple different things, right? What do we find out? This is how I'm going to predict the next day. First and foremost, we have a gap, again, that is not filled. Now, this is a sliver, okay? It is literally like the size of a sliver. We don't enjoy these that much. We're just going to mark this one out to make a point that it's there. It's not a large gap. It's not a couple pennies. It is literally sliver, and we have to label it as such. And we have to spell it correctly someday, because those are not my favorite. But we have this range right here that I just noticed, right? And what's important about these ranges right here when you have these giant golden pocket clusters, right? What's important about these clusters of candles on the 1 minute and 5 minute that don't have golden pocket tags? Well, I'll show you since you asked so nicely. Into the ES chart, back here, charted off, cluster GP top, cluster GP bottom, 4 of them bad boys on the 5 minute chart. Does this look familiar on the scam up? Schlam, CPI, schlam. And how did Brandon know we were coming all the way back down to this cluster GP? Well, I didn't, but at least it was a good target, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 5-minute candles were created right here without golden pocket tags, right? Now, interestingly enough, to the CPI we called the top, all the way down to, oh, you guessed it, the mother truckin' no tag GP clusters. We have indicators for free that show you this stuff. Come and join us. They're in the Discord. Thinkorswim and TradingView. I think some of our coders too. Now, obviously, that is a huge point of interest because there's a prior multi-cluster zone of no GPs, okay? Now, let's do it again. Even cooler, I know. We're going to come to this 1 minute cluster right here. We're going to do the high-low of this cluster. I put cluster top on the 1 minute. You can do the 5 minute too because I think there's 3 of them. I'm just going to do the 1 minute for now because I want to go over back here and teach you guys something else quick. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candles. I want to do cluster bottom 6 so I know what the hell I'm looking at. So cluster bottom 6. This price level can get kick rocks. All right, so we got another cluster here, okay? And again, how we predicted the CPI, I'm going to do it again. We're going to look at the 15s. Yeah. I figured that cluster would be in there. So the 15-minute high-low, the one that we predicted the CPI top off, right, what the hell is that? Right here, we're going to do it again. That's not perfect, but you know what I mean. This neon green fib, we will change out to the 15, will be our predictive fib for tomorrow. We're going to extend both these to the right because we do have a GP tag. And what that means on the daily chart is, as we just discussed, SPY got inside the lows and close and moved to the golden GP. Qs did not, okay? So SPY can fail, right? This golden pocket tag and come down to that cluster and that GP. Will that happen? Well, I don't know. We don't really care. We're not going to predict it. We're just going to play it, right? So we come into the chart. We're going to go to our 5. We got our 15-minute neon green, beautiful candle that is mixed up with 2 5s and 6 1s that are all no tag GP. So I know this range is a banger of an algo cluster, right? I didn't even spell cluster right. So this area here, according to the rules, we have that Fibonacci high-low. It goes to the 1618. If it comes back down to the 100 and holds, we move up to the 2618, right? And back towards prior all-time highs. And the QQQ gap we just talked about, okay? That is going to be a targetable offense over the cluster, over the 1618 if it holds. Best case scenario, we're going to come back down from the 1618, drop into this golden pocket of this magical 15 green big cluster love range that we just did. And then we will continue to launch ourselves into oblivion, and we will go long into the QQQ golden pocket of yesterday, right? So if SPY holds the cluster, holds the 15-minute GP, I'm going QQQ back to 559 area golden GP from yesterday's high-low, okay? And I want to check one more thing on the ES because we're going to do it on the FUTs too. If we got those candles, which we got 1, 2, and again, I just like to do both. We're opening it up here right now, actually. Yeah, we do. Excuse me. Cluster top, cluster bottom. It's also nice when they match. Sometimes, most of the time they do. Once in a while they don't. Okay. And we're going to take that whole range like we just did. We're actually going to make it into a 15. Maybe we'll just trade the open live. Screw it. See what we got here. Because this 15 hits so many precious things. And then after the 1618, we will come down to 6292, right? Let's see if we can log in fast enough here. Yep. Okay. ES. What? Where's it at? ES. We got a new platform, so nothing's set up. ES. There we go. I just want a short here. ES open. So we'll play the open while we talk about this. So we're going to take that 15-minute right here, and the rules state if the 15 or if any Fibonacci goes to that 1618, more often than not, we'll roll back down to the 100. Right? So we got a 1618 tag here. The only worst case scenario for us is it pops up to this bad boy, which is a no tag GP, right? And then it'll fail, at least statistically. If not, we will hold 6,300 and it will ape out and go chase that gap without it. But first, we have to have a little relax, I think, in my opinion, down to at least 100 because we have a GP above, we have a GP below. What does that mean? Well, we have a 5-minute golden pocket high-low above us that already hit the 1618, and we have a 5-minute below us. So I'm going to pick short. Why? Well, because the Fibonacci rules of the 15 are going to take precedent. And if I draw another beautiful Fibonacci high-low on this 5-minute. I could do it with my eyes, so I don't have to draw this one. We already hit the 1618 here, then the 2618, and never back tested the 100. Which means as long as we're under 6,300, I'll see your butt at 62.96 and 8 cents, right? Which reminds me, I'm going to go set an order down at 62.96. 62.96 and a quarter. We got the order out. There we go. I think that's it. Oh, why is it on the screen here? Yeah, we're aped. We're aped. So we're on platform here. We're on the downside. We're looking for that quick 1,000 here. So I could get more because we only have 10. Then we could make it another. I only like to make about $1,000. We might not get it. We might. Blah, blah, blah. You'll see. I didn't have time because we were doing the frickin' recap, and all of a sudden the market opened, and I had to make the free money and blah blah blah. So let me get this done real quick here, boys. So we're gonna come back down. We're gonna fill that 100 fib. We're aped in. We're going for 62.96 8 cents, which is the tippy top of this guy here. And of course, we will go a little bit further down. I get my $1,000 minimums, so the call is actually 62, about 93. But I like to get out and in early, and I like to, get up there and fill that bad boy. I like to just get my $1,000 minimum. So when I'm playing the consistency on Top One or TickTick or any of these traders or any of the prop firms that you guys want me to test, my crew in my Discord tells me to test these things. We have a strategy. And if there's a 10-day consistency roll, any consistency roll 20%, I just go for $1,000 a day on the 150Ks. That's it. $1,000. And then usually by day 7, 8, you're within consistency by about 8 if you did it correctly. Plus minus, of course, you're gonna get some reds, you're gonna get some, back and forth. It's part of the game, so don't beat yourself up. Do we move this down a tick? No, we're gonna leave that on a tick right here. We're gonna hope to get another fill right here. So yeah, that's literally it. So we're gonna watch the 15-minute, do its algo, because Fibonacci has personality. It's not actually an indicator, it's literally the essence of life itself. And we have 2 different Fibonaccis, like we said, coming in hot for the fill. So we're gonna make this prop day 2, 3. I don't even know what I'm on this one. I'm gonna check back. We're just testing them all on Project X and getting the payouts, making sure they're legit, and then giving them to my chat, because I test them out with my own moolah, make sure we get payouts, and then I'll tell you guys if they're good or not. And so far, we've been having some pretty good luck. Whoops. Block the account number up here, but your prep count's down here, stupid. Yeah, I know. Sue me. So we're going to get this low day panic. We're going to come down here, hopefully get our fill. We're not going to get this limit order filled because it's a jerk. Can't see my chart behind us, but you guys get the gist. So we're almost there. I hope we actually pop right back. This might turn into a little longer of a video, sorry, but fast forward if you don't want to see it. So we're going to come down to 62.96 and a quarter. Hopefully that's going to be the top tick here. And even if it pops back up, it's actually a really good reshort. We'll see what we get for the first 5 or 15. Whoops. We'll see if there's a GP on the 1 minute opening candle. Help us out. 1, 2, well, a little bit. A little bit. I don't think it'll give us the free trade, but we'll see. Like if it pops back up to 1 minute up here, I'll reshort it before it hits the target of 62.96. But tapped it, no fill. That's typical prop firm behavior. I'm just kidding. It's hard to fill those bids and on the bottom, especially on ES, because we're trading the Garbo. We're trading the molasses trader. So it's going to pop up here. Hey, we're still fine on the 15. Don't get me wrong. Just because it didn't fill us, and prop firms always never fill in this room. No, I'm just kidding. We still have the target of this. So we are, again, still targeting that 1618 down to the 15 minute. Pay attention here, right? So we will get that action there, even if it does pop back up a little bit. So without further ado, we'll just continue this one a little bit here. We'll see if we get the break here. We'll see if we get the cut. If not, we're going to pop back up to some of these jams right here. These little 1 minute no GPs. The opening one is done. We have a regular GP hit, but these are open. So it'll come really close. We just actually covered this, guys. We just covered scam shies, right? Price action comes all the way down. Remember that 1618 daily? Rewind the video. It's in the beginning. Goes all the way down to the 1618 and it's like, oh, just kidding. What did it do right here? Came down. Oh, no, man. And then it's going to pretend, even if it goes all the way back to the top here, it's just going to pretend. And it's not going to do that. We already know. So if it comes up to the top of this GP, we'll grab some more. 62.98 and a quarter, it looks like. So 62.98 and a quarter. I can't see my... There we go. Oh, that's pretty much our average, huh? Look at that. Yeah, so it comes back up to the top of this candle. That's our average for the breakaway. And then we'll piece it into there. Because it is only ES, and it's pretty much easy peasy. So with these micro algos, we're either going to pop up, get this fill, drop back down. And then 62.96 and a quarter will be the fill point still, which I even put it ahead of time, which is funny. I put it on 62.96 and a fucking quarter, and you see that mother trucker did not fill. Prop life. All jokes. So we'll wait a few seconds as this drops, because we're going to magnet down, and we're not going to put stops on it. We're not going to pay attention to it because we already know the algos. Text the baby brother back, you know. Hurry up. Pop, drop, do something. I might actually put it up here and close. Be a little bit better of a marker for the second one right here. Zoop. I'm not gonna, but it'd be a better pop up there. Here's our fill. Wick down. And I put it at a 0.25, so you'd fill me before you hit the damn 100 fit, because I don't feel like sitting here all night. I'd rather trade the morning. So it comes all the way down here and dings this shit, and then comes all the way back up and does this nonsense. You could just leave it on, put a stop way up here if you wanted to. It'd work out just fine. Stop above 6,300. But on the props, hey, double no fill. Look at that. On the props, we don't really trust them like that. I don't anyway. Clearly. Just because we're recording this, it's not gonna fail. It's gonna do the regular prop stuff. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. It's obviously a joke. It's ES 90% of the time. NQ would have failed. Ninja Trader would have failed. All the jokes. All right, wick down. Fill my order. Give me my 1,000. Get out of my face. Order filled. I'm manifesting it. That's all I'm doing. Order filled. Order filled. Well, I tried. Let's see the next minute open right here. Watch. 50 seconds till order filled. This minute is clearly done. It's just giving up on life. The second I talk shit to it, oh yeah, straight up. All right, it's gonna be a little bit, another 30 seconds before order fill. The new minute will wick down. That would be a fun little time. If not, we'll probably just add to it up here and keep going. So you know the trade. I'm gonna get back in the last couple seconds of the video here. What the prediction is. So we're gonna run those two fibs. We're gonna leave the open, and best case scenario, we will see you anything under 6,300. I'll see you right here at this GP, which is anywhere between 6,285 to that 6,280. It's a 5-point buffer on the huge. I think we have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 here and 6 on the SPY. So again, like I said, they're very close, but you know, not always. So because we hit our limit, you know, twice here, we're just gonna cross our fingers and pray to the trading gods here that it order fill wicks where it's supposed to, because it will hit 62.96 here in a second. And that's the whole video. So anything under 6,300, guys, we're gonna, or pretty much, well, yeah, 6,380 some cents right here. We will take her down to here, best case scenario, and then if under 62.93, that's when you get the best case scenario GPs. Okay, so even if the Trumpster tries to run this thing up and push it up, we'll still get that drop. So that is all I got for you, homies. We will get into, what do we got? New 5-minute candle right here. We'll get into the next NQ trade as well, because I think we do have 1, 2, 3, 4 on this cluster. So if you're worried about the NQ, make sure you're under, again, pretty much 23,050. We're coming into that order filled. We love that noise. So finally just filled that order that we're talking about for a quick little 1,000. So done for the day on this prop. We can lock it out. We go for 1,000 a day. But for the NQ trade, it's no different. Don't confuse yourself. We're going to come, oh, shnikes. We're going to come into this, and then, of course, that 15-minute candle, because this is the whole point of my Fibonacci golden strategies. This bad boy. And again, I traded ES because it had a much better fib setup. NQ I'm usually on, but after hours and we're talking shit. So again, 15 high low, ding, 1, 6, and 8. We'll see you at 22.985, and then the GP, crossing our fingers for the downside. Sorry for the long video. If you guys want to watch me do this stuff live, teach you mastering Fibonacci, which I'm coming up with a cancer course that I'm selling, that I'm not taking $1 from. 0 monies from. We're going to give it to local cancer families, because I'm a stage 3 colorectal cancer patient. There are certain people that are not at the financial level that I am, and I would like to help them out by putting out my efforts for Fibonacci trading, live streaming, and just giving the money away. So tune in for that. You want to join the group? Links in the description, my friends. You want to win some free cash? All you got to do is drop a comment. Make sure you're subscribed. I use comment picker every weekend. I'll see you guys on Saturday, Sunday at the worst case scenario. Update X. Please follow me over there for some free cash giveaway. All you got to do is comment, support the stream. See you guys then. Thanks.